I've been thinking more and more about the Trump candidacy and people supporting it, as well as my opposition to it. One thing I just can't seem to rationalize, no matter what way I try to spin it, was his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the U.S., which I think is ridiculous. I've stated that several times now in a number of videos. But really, when I question this to people or try to rebuke it, they do one of two things. And this is my main reason for having opposition to him. Admittedly, there are other things that he said I'm not in favor of, but this is the biggest one. Because being Muslim does not mean you've broken the law. It's as simple as that. You have his supporters who I know in real life, and it's like I was saying, he has supporters who I know in real life, and they will go out of their way to either defend this position, or which in effect will say that they support it, either confirm that they do or hint at the fact that they support it, or they'll kind of turn the other cheek and just kind of ignore it a little bit. Now, again, I'm Catholic, and I would not want someone to tell me, let's say I decide to travel to some foreign country, that I cannot enter the country because I practice Roman Catholicism. I don't feel that's any type of way for democracy to work. And we always talk about the separation of church and state. I think that's almost kind of smashing them together in a way, where you take your views that are religious, and you have, or someone else's religious views, because Trump is not Muslim, and neither is Obama. You can stop saying that. And you just enforce it on other people, or you try to go against someone because of their religious views, for the simple fact that people with those same religious views did bad things. There are plenty of people who I'm sure were Catholic who did bad things, but does that mean every Catholic should be punished for it? And I will keep throwing my religion in this because it's very relevant to this topic, which is just the idea of banning people from coming to a country because of their religion. That should never be a factor in any decision making. And I just, every time somebody says they support him, barring his family members who, if that were my family, I probably would support them. But I just can't help but think about this and how it seems as if no one's bothered by it. I'm wrong. I'm the guy who needs to get in line and be like everyone else. You even have some members of the GOP who are supporters of Cruz or Kasich and talk about, so they'll either say never him or they'll talk about supporting him. I've had one or two try to dissuade me from being against him, but I can't. No, I will not support someone who has that policy. And it just seems so bizarre to me that these people, they're all right with it. Now, that's not to say they're as bad as he is. They didn't propose it. It'd be similar to, let's say, some person, liberal or conservative, saying that everyone who opposes Obamacare or supports Obamacare is crazy. Now, I think it's crazy to ban an entire religion, or to ban a religion in any type of capacity, but that is just insane to me. And I can't wrap my mind around where this makes sense to anybody. How do you go from a society where we've had men such as President Kennedy and Reagan. I was about to say Presidents Kennedy and Reagan. I cut myself off. These honorable men. You go further back in time. President Lincoln. Further back, President Washington, President Jefferson, President Adams. You have these high esteemed men who We could talk about the slavery issue, but the bottom line is they were the leaders that they needed to be for the time period they were set in. How do you go from that to this? To someone that's talking about banning a religious group? And really, it just shows we've had a decline in politics, and just in the people we pick for that office. Whether you like him or hate him, Sanders has never gone after people in the way Trump has. Certainly not people he's running against. He has a level of class that Trump doesn't. And again, you don't have to agree with his politics to see that. So that's my argument. And thank you for watching. Have a good day.